Hi, I've been making techno with the Casio FZ-1 recently, and in this video I want to show you how I have that all set up. So oh, why don't we hear anything? Uh, so how does this work? I start out with the virtual floppy drive of the FZ, and I put some samples on a USB stick on my computer. I have a video about that if you want to know more about that. And then I load that in the FZ and I start adding more sounds from a synthesizer. Could be anything. I'm using this modular right now. So I add sounds, and when I have enough sounds, I start sequencing. And when I have enough sequencing, melody, drum, whatever things going on, then I can press record on the recorder and do a dub mix on the mixer. Yeah, so that's the high-level overview. So if we look more detail at how the sound works, the FZ has 8 individual outputs and a mix out. So that's 9 audio outputs, and I have all 9 of those connected on the first 9 channels of the mixer. And the reason I need to connect all of them is that in order to dub mix, I need the first 8, like the 8 individual outs. But if I want to edit a sound, you can tell that I sometimes press a key and no sound comes out, and that's because not all the faders are up. So this mix that works for the track doesn't work for editing. So if I need to edit the sound, I turn all the faders down on the first 8 channels and I turn up channel 9. And then I can hear the sound normally on its own. So to go back and forth between writing the song or working on sounds, I need to change the channels and have them all hooked up. So that's the first 9 channels. Over here, the last 4 are the FX returns. I could have also just used the FX returns of the mixer. I felt like using the channels. I'm not sure why. Doesn't hurt. And then I have one more channel hooked up, and, and that is the sound from the modular. Because if I want to sample, I need to hear what I'm doing, and I can't monitor through the FZ. So I need to have sound on the mixer so I can hear it. And then it goes into a passive splitter box that you can't see right now. So that I can also send it into the sampling input here. So that's everything on the mixer, I think. So let me move the camera so I can show you what I'm doing on the screen and how I have the MIDI working. Okay, here we are looking at the screen of the FZ and the sequencer, the Circlon. I have the MIDI out going to a MIDI input on the Circlon, and then a MIDI output going back to the MIDI input. In the MIDI settings, which are buried quite deep, I've set receive to area, which means that it listens to different channels. Because if the other option is basic, and if you do this, then it only listens on this basic channel, and you can't you can't play different sounds at the same time, basically. So if you want to do anything interesting with a multi setup, you need this area setting here. If I want to, and I'm using this as this keyboard as the master keyboard to enter notes into the sequencer, which is annoying because if I want to change the channel, I need to be in this menu, which is like, I don't know how many clicks away. So what I do instead is that the tracks on the Circlon have different MIDI channels associated with them. And this thing is sending on channel 1, and I don't put any sounds on channel 1. And then it goes out the thing, and then the Circlon changes the MIDI channel back to say 6, so that it comes back on 6. So I need to use this external thing to make it usable as a master keyboard, because changing the MIDI channel is way too much work. So those are the MIDI settings. And I've talked about the circle on tracks, which are really helpful. Then another thing I want to show is that if, say, I want to change something on the multi, like what output something goes to. Like you can see here, this hi-hat is going to, oh, I'm not using this hi-hat. I am using this hi-hat. It's going to output 4. So when I need to change these settings and I want to see if it sounds right, then I've learned the hard way that the best thing to do is to go back to play mode and then hit play. But the problem is that gets annoying to go back and forth, so you can use this button. So now it remembers this menu. So if I change something here, and I can go back to play mode and hit play on the sequencer, and if I want to change it again, I push this button and I'm back on the menu where I was. So that saves some time clicking around. It's like a bookmark you can drop. You can drop one bookmark, and if you're in play mode, you can go back to the bookmark. You can't use the bookmark to go from one section of the edit menu structure to another, because then it just moves the bookmark. Yeah, so the super annoying thing here is that when you're setting key ranges, which I mainly use for the drum sounds, then you need to be very careful that you don't send a MIDI loop, because then it's very easy to mess this up. See, now I just pressed this key once, and now it's already overwritten 2 of these. And now this is on the wrong notes, it's on the wrong pitch, so it's all messed up. And remember, this was C2. See, it double triggers. I don't understand. Okay, actually I do understand. I need to tell the circle on not to send MIDI back, and now it does a single trigger. It's very easy to make a mistake and mess up your splits, which is super annoying. So I've learned to be careful and go back to play mode as much as possible. If I would run the sequencer now, then it would just put whatever notes the sequencers, I mean, I can show you. Now it just, whatever notes came in on the sequencer just went into the split points, which is not what I want. And now it lost this one. Why? Come on. There. Okay. I hope it's right again. This is frustrating to work with. Also, like, even if you set the bookmark, it doesn't go back to the sound you were editing. So if I'm editing a sound that is like somewhere at the back, I need to constantly scroll to the right like this, and it's slow. That's just how it is. That's what you get if you want to do, if you want to make music the old school way. And what else? Oh, I can show you what sounds I have. So I have the basic drum kit on channel 3, I guess. Oh, you can't hear everything because we have the mixer set to the track mix, so we don't hear all the sounds. So we have that. Let me change the mixer so you can hear everything. So these drum sounds I just put in on the floppy on the computer. And then on top of that, let's see, I have a bunch of weird sounds that I sampled. No, this is not the natural pitch. And this one is synthesized inside the FZ, so it's using the filter and the wave syn mode of the FZ, which sounds nice. So it's really nice that you can use it as a synthesizer and add some synth sounds quickly. But it's still nice to add more to sample more weird sounds on top of what the machine can do on its own. But you can make really good synth sounds just with the thing. So it's nice that those are in there. And yeah, I have, so on the sequencer I have a couple tracks. What have we got? Oh, see, this doesn't work now because we're not in bank. I'm using the circle on fill button to play a drum fill. And that's nice because it is a performance thing that you can just do that when you feel like it. That's an effect sound or a sound. That's all that's in the sequencer. I've talked about the call sets, I've talked about the annoying split points being overwritten. I think I've shown you everything now. So I'll move the camera around again and let's make some music.